Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, HollywoodShono here, about to give you another Injustice 2 video. In this video, we're going to be talking about HollywoodShono's tier list and why I feel certain people are obviously the best out there. So, by this tier list, obviously we're talking about the single-player campaign or arena. Now, obviously, there are a couple wild cards. Obviously, you do need somebody that can block and a high-threat team, and anybody with super block, for example, Wonder Woman, Superman, and Gorilla Grodd are great choices, all of which have super block and all of which can absorb a ton of damage. So, the reason we have Predator Batman and Emerald Green Lantern is because they are two of the best cycle cards in the game. Emerald Green Lantern can generate power, and Predator Batman can chip damage. Now, if you have the alternate Arkham Knight Batman, who I rank in the same league of Predator Batman as the best card in the game. Obviously, I can't test out Arkham Knight Batman, but you guys should know for yourself that that's generally how it works. So, the Flame Master Robin is not going to take long to go down, so we're just going to continue cycling, as we did check out the threat. It's mostly a Mythic Wonder Woman and Swamp Thing. So, let's get in Predator Batman. We're going to get a couple stuns here. Now, this is obviously easier to pull off in double power, or even at the 1 minute mark. But there is a secret component to Emerald Green Lantern that you guys probably don't know about. And that secret component is the ability to absorb damage from super moves. Robin's going to get stunned. So at this point, it's pretty much over. Robin's going to super move out. We're going to bomb Robin. And we just beat a 500,000 threat team. Oh, we didn't even get eliminated. Wow. Get fucked, Robin. I guess you should have put some offense on that team, boy. But when you have the armor up, you take considerably less damage, and the super move will actually stop you from getting obliterated. This is great protection, especially when you're dealing with 400,000 and 500,000 threat teams. You need to have that armor ability leveled, and it's also a really good offensive tool as the rocket just costs too much, and if it gets evaded or blocked, it's going to make you feel a lot worse. At least the armor gives you some positive value. So now we're going to talk about ranks 4, 5, and 6, even though it's actually ranked a little bit higher. And that is in the form of Silver Dr. Fate, Atlantean Armor Aquaman, and Sub-Zero. So this is a team that could be really powerful. Obviously, you want to have Emerald Green Lantern in place of one of the two. However, you can definitely make it work. So the setup is like this. And we need Atlantean Armor Aquaman, who's way down on the list. So basically the setup gives you a lot of team healing. Let's try to find somebody with a lot of threat. There's 111,000. Now obviously Dr. Fate gets countered by Horrific Scarecrow, and this is a great example. So the specials are going to cost normal for both sides. But we're going to show the power of both Sub-Zero and Atlantean Armor Aquaman. More so Atlantean Armor Aquaman because he is a really harassing card. And if you have a threatening Mythic Wonder Woman, Aquaman can definitely shut it down. He's got really good combos, and also the power drain is serious positive value. So we're going to get back in Atlantean Armor Aquaman as soon as we take a sweep. You see the damage taken there, and Aquaman took a little damage too, so we're going to do that. So immediately Atlantean Armor Aquaman heals up, and there is some power dampening. So now we can cycle Sub-Zero into a clone. Now, obviously, the one hard counter to a clone is if you get special out, like in the Klone Toss video, and you can't pull more clones. And Mythic Wonder Woman can also gain damage, but you can also block it and just really make her feel bad. Or you can just kill her with her own move. The Horrific Scarecrow comes in, and this is the value that Sub-Zero brings the team. The fact that the clones are taking damage, not your opponent, and dealing decent damage is a big deal. So Dr. Fate, obviously, when you're not dealing with Horrific Scarecrow, makes your specials cost less. But watch this juicy power drain on Sub-Zero. Absolutely ridiculous. And even when people tag in, you get serious positive value, and you can just keep spamming it when it's at 3. Like, I don't know how somebody can react with Aquaman, and what thought process came out and given a character with a heal such a broken special 2 that is absolutely ridiculous. Like, the opponent can't even generate power in double power because it just gets sucked away. And if this was a non-Dr. Fate, you would just simply have unlimited special 2s, and there'd be no way the opponent could generate power, assuming you can trap them in the corner. And then you get infinite value from the heal. Down goes Sub-Zero. So that is 3, 4, and 6 on my list. I think Mythic Wonder Woman overall is 5th because you really need a good supporting cast. By herself, yes, she's going to do a lot of damage, but if you can take her out quickly, it's just going to make your team pretty weak. So next up, we're going to show off 7, 8, and 9 on my list, and that would be all metahumans. So 3 metahumans on the list that I think are definitely high tier value is Horrific Scarecrow, Flora Poison Ivy, and Speed Force the Flash. Silver Flash obviously is really good because his special 1 can cause 20% area damage, but the other cards, obviously Primal Swamp Thing does work as a decent tank because he can revive, and Swamp Thing does have a heal, and upgraded, it does a decent heal as it's 1,054 health, which is less than 1/5 of Swamp Thing, but the fact that it's a free heal does give synergy with Dr. Fate because his special 1 will cost 1, but you can make the Flash work, you can make Scarecrow work, you can make Primal Swamp Thing work as a tank, but we're going to talk about 7, 8, and 9. And we have a decent team to set that up. Obviously, the opponent has a Scarecrow, but I'm not really that worried. So the idea behind this is that Flora Poison Ivy is one of the fastest attackers in the game. Probably the only one that is actually faster is Catwoman on her light attacks. Scarecrow is mostly just 7th on my, or 8th on my tier list because of the passive. He is a slow attacker. He does have great specials. His special 2 also synergizes with Arkham Knight Batman. But who can argue that Flora Poison Ivy is one of the most annoying cards in the game? Because not only does she have a great combo, her special 2 just does ridiculous damage, and it also triggers a dot on the next person. Flora Poison Ivy is going to take a little damage. Let's show off Speed Force the Flash a little bit too. Also a great offensive defensive minded character because you can just evade out of the way. I've never been good at that mechanic, so don't quote me on that. But Speed Force the Flash almost gets taken out by 1 special from Wonder Woman. And a lot of people do have that devastating special 1 because it is also armor piercing. So down goes Flora Poison Ivy. So Wonder Woman's just going to start going nuts. And this is where things get dangerous because Wonder Woman can be very tough real quick. I think here we're just going to sacrifice. We'll just take some damage on Scarecrow. Actually, let's just try to Supermove Wonder Woman out. I think that's actually the better play. But on my tier list, I have Flora Poison Ivy, Horrific Scarecrow, Speed Force Flash. And then we're going to talk about Catwoman and a couple honorable mentions. So obviously there's some really good cards that are not in the top 10. I think Catwoman Silver is in the top 10 because she's a super fast attacker and her dot is one of the most effective ways to chip down anyone that has a super block, for example, Mythic Wonder Woman. So let's get a couple of these cards in. Let's throw in Catwoman, Silver Wonder Woman, and Soul Stealer Dr. Fate next. So we're kind of going out of order from how I usually farm, but it's not really a big deal. So we're going to throw in Wonder Woman, along with Soul Stealer Dr. Fate, who's kind of in the back of the list. So these are a couple honorable mentions that easily could be in people's top 10s. So the reason I place Wonder Woman so high up is that she does have a passive ability that does more damage against males, basically negating the tech disadvantage for damage, and you get team attack. You also have the shield block. The Mouthfeel Bash is also really good. The down thrust is a really good special one. It's just an overall solid card. So let's find an opponent. There we go. Although I don't like Dr. Fate. I like the threat level. I don't like Dr. Fate. So I believe it was a 78. With a Scarecrow, let's just do it. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. Obviously, the block does get negated by Scarecrow. Scarecrow and Dr. Fate are 2 of the worst cards to actually go up against because making special cost 2 more is bad. Making your specials cost 2 less is really powerful. Let's start off with Wonder Woman. We're going to cycle some power because we're going to need a little bit more to get effective. Now, Soul Stealer Dr. Fate has 2 levels of annoyance. First one is being able to swap health with anybody in the game. So if you have a really high defensive value, having a Soul Stealer Dr. Fate just obliterate somebody while you're at low health basically gives you a free kill. So let's get in Dr. Fate to take a little bit of damage from that special 3. We should have actually took it, but that's fine. Because now when Deadshot comes in, we'll be ready to go. Let's get in Catwoman. You can really make combos work really good with Catwoman. I think she's definitely one of the honorable mentions and definitely a top 10 player in my opinion because her dot is so versatile. So again, we're going to try to save the swap for Marksman's Deadshot. We probably should get rid of Batman. So obviously one of the cool mechanics about Soul Stealer Dr. Fate is his ability to heal, but one of the most powerful mechanics is that one right there, being able to swap health with your opponent, and arguably any of these 3 are potential top 10 players because adding damage to males can be a big deal when 75% of the good players are males. Dr. Fate, Batman, Green Lantern, etc., even Scarecrow, and it does counter disadvantages. Now, there's a couple other cards that are easily top 10 mentionable, and we're going to talk about 3 more of them. We're going to talk about Captain Cold, who is obviously one of my new ones. We're going to talk about Silver Harley Quinn and Last Laugh the Joker. So these are 3 cards that all have high offensive potential. Silver Harley Quinn has that devastating special 2 and 3, both of which can hit multiple opponents, and Last Laugh the Joker has a really powerful passive that allows you to do more damage when you knock somebody out, and it does also work off clones. So if a Sub-Zero is spawning clones, a Harley Quinn steals an opponent, that's extra damage for the Joker, and that bang does a lot of damage, even if it wasn't level 10. So this is another example of a good roster. So we're going to fight Indonesia first, that has 50% more threat than us. Obviously, the bulk of the threat is in Mythic Wonder Woman, but our Captain Cold can easily counter that. And he can also shut down a passive, and crit resistance can be a big deal because most of the Mythic Wonder Womans will have over 2,000 attack in the 30 to 40,000 threat range and a decent amount of crit because Mythic Wonder Woman is a super offensive card. However, Captain Cold does a really good job of shutting that down, and crit resistance on a passive is actually way better than having it in gear because you get so much value from that. So there's Cyborg. Let's just ice him down. That's going to do a lot of damage. So Harley Quinn has some really cool mechanics. Her special 3 can hit multiple opponents. So there's Mythic Wonder Woman. And she's going to get wiped out. Unbreakable Cyborg is in. Let's try to get him down a little bit. That's perfect. So when Harley hits with her special 2, she kicks and then does damage on a second person. So now Last Laugh the Joker is going to do a lot of damage, up to 30% more damage. And obviously, if we sacrifice Harley Quinn, that would be another 10% damage. Joker's going to survive and just shoot up Robin. Does some decent damage. Keep in mind his threat level is actually pretty low compared to Captain Cold, but all 3 of those cards, in my opinion, can do some good work. So also in my honorable mention list is both Robins because they have high combo potential, and Green Arrow, one of the only cards in the game that have a direct power drain, not counting Aquaman's Special 2 and Cyborg's Hazard. So both Robins are very effective. Obviously, Blade Master Robin has a more annoying and a slow combo that'll drain power more, and Armored Superman gives team defense. The only one that actually gives more is a Silver Aquaman at 5 stars. However, Armored Superman does it with one character, and this is kind of why I downplay Aquaman, because while his power drain is really good, Armored Superman basically does the same thing as one metahuman would with Aquaman. So, do you really need Aquaman? Not so much. However, his passive is definitely worthy because might classes will also increase the stun resistance. So, you have this team that works really well. You also have Green Arrow with the Black Canary synergy, but you can also use Bane as well. So with Black Canary and Green Arrow and Bane, you have a pretty solid team. Bane will increase your crit chance and also the damage that your rush attacks do, and it goes up to 30%. So if you have somebody like a Batman, you can stack up crit chance like crazy. Silver Deadshot can as well, and the extra damage does synergize with Silver Harley Quinn. Keep that in mind. So Black Canary gives more crit to Green Arrow, just like Bane does. And Black Canary also gets fast attack damage. Well, Green Arrow gives Black Canary teammates fast attack chance. So you're going to get more fast attack extra damage. So Black Canary is one of the cards that benefit from fast attack, as does Robin. Robin is also a good benefit. And also an honorable mention, if you want some funny highlight reels, you definitely have to include Scarecrow and Telekinetic Gorilla Grodd, because both of them have annoying moves. When the opponent tags out, if you get stopped, Gorilla Grodd will do a bunch of damage, and Scarecrow can stun. If you block, you can obviously counter that, so it's not a big deal. Now, also on my honorable mention list is Marksman Deadshot. He is capable of a lot of damage. Even at level 36, he has 1200 damage, which is more than Enraged Bane has at level 40 with all level 20 gear. And Deadshot is also one of the few cards in the game that give team critical attack chance, and 10% is pretty respectable. Now, Silver Joker is also a super annoying card, because even at like a level 3 passive, you get a 7-second stun, and you give your opponent 2 bars of power, which could be enough to send off a super move. Basically, if you get stunned and you don't have resistance, you're going to die. No doubt about it. So there's also 3 other honorable mentions. Obviously, Silver Cyborg's healing while tagged out. Unbreakable Cyborg being able to tank a super move or any other sort of damage is pretty good. But we also have Warrior Queen Wonder Woman. We have Green Lantern. And we have the Silver Aquaman. All 3 cards do have potential. Warrior Queen Wonder Woman is amazing for stopping a Mythic Wonder Woman from going ham on you, because while the Warrior Queen is up, Mythic Wonder Woman will not gain her damage buff. Obviously, Last Laugh the Joker would get his buff, but when you trigger this, you will obviously get a Amazon that has up to half of your attack and has full health. So that's pretty interesting there. And obviously, Warrior Queen Wonder Woman Special 1 also has armor piercing, so it can do a lot of damage when it's upgraded. Green Lantern is one of those wild cards that I think can do really well. And the interesting thing about Green Lantern is that his absorption shield is really good for building up high combos early on. So, for example, if you're using Dr. Fate, you can build up a really high combo, and if you know your damage, you can just build up like a 100-hit combo and just wipe somebody out. And Aquaman has a really interesting passive. It's really clunky, but I found out that once I upgraded the Super Friends, you got 4% defense per metahuman teammate. So I ranked that ability really good. I think if it was 2% of rank, it would be absolute garbage, because Armored Superman would give you a better benefit. But if you can put 2 metahumans with Aquaman, you have 40% team defense, meaning you only need to get 35% defense to cap out, and that is amazing. And then you have stun resistance per might teammate, so if you're having problems with Batmans, you can get it up to 30% team stun resist, and if you're running 3 might classes, which is not bad when you're running Atlantean Armor Aquaman and a blocker like Superman, then you can make some pretty good stuff happen. So there's obviously some other honorable mentions. There's BVS Superman.
Black Canary.
Not Sonic Black Canary. I think Sonic Black Canary is crap. BVS Superman gains attack from Batman and health from Wonder Woman. While it's not a big amount, and the value seems kind of crappy, I would imagine that it scales off of your actual stats. So if you have 40,000 health, you're actually going to get probably 8,000 health, which is a decent amount, and you're going to get like a couple hundred damage easily. So that passive obviously gets better later on, and Suicide Squad Harley Quinn also has some interesting synergy, because if you're running double Jokers, Harley gets a lot of attack. She'll get like 40% attack, and she'll get more obviously at 5 stars. Deadshots will increase her crit chance considerably, and power regen from Harley Quinn. So this is a really interesting card, because you can definitely just load up on her crit and just go all defensive on talents. That would be amazing. So I really like this card because it does give synergy. It is one that I think is pretty clunky at this current time. I think once they add in more Deadshots that actually do something, because Marksman Deadshot does nothing to help Harley Quinn other than the passive, and obviously Silver Joker does nothing but kill somebody if he gets knocked out. So there's a couple cards that I don't think you should be focusing on. Obviously, Enraged Bane could be on that list, and the only reason I focus on him is because he is a super hard card to get. But is he a top 20, 30 player? Probably not. Also on the list of cards you probably should not work on is Gorilla Grodd. Silver Gorilla Grodd is a piece of crap. He does like no damage, and unlike Telekinetic, does not have a side effect that actually is worthwhile. Silver Scarecrow also is one of those debatable ones because he's pretty squishy, while the tag-in mechanic is pretty fun when it actually works. And Unhinged Harley Quinn can steal an opponent, but obviously if you have Suicide Squad or Silver Harley Quinn, I think those two are better options. I really don't like Unhinged Harley Quinn specials. The multi-hit on Silver is really good, and Suicide Squad obviously has much better passive effects. And Cyborgs, you really don't want to mess with them. They're tanky cards. Obviously, Silver Cyborg is huge value at higher levels, but doesn't really do a lot of damage. And Powered Supergirl is an interesting card. I really don't see her fitting in like a meta team. More of a funsy card. She can do decent damage, but it's not a card that I would really focus on. Same thing with Sonic Black Canary. I think Sonic Black Canary and Entangling Poison Ivy are bad cards. You should not be focusing on them. And I also think that Swamp Thing is a bad card. And Amazon Wonder Woman obviously is a hard card to focus on unless you get an offer. And you only get one level up offer a week, and you also get one promotion offer a week. So if you upgrade, let's say for example, Entangling Poison Ivy, you want to wait 7 days until you get a promotion offer like I did for Captain Cole. So you don't want to actually accept a promotion from Entangling Poison Ivy, for example me, until the following Tuesday when my cooldown would be up, and on Sunday the level up. So I really hope that I can get an offer for Armored Superman because I got him out of a gold chest in the soft launch, and I really feel that they should give you a way to get Armored Superman fragments outside of the offer or level it up. So hopefully at some point I can get an offer for Armored Superman, because I think it's total bullshit that there's no way to actually upgrade the card other than a special offer. And NetherRealm, if you're watching this video, just give me a 1-star Arkham Knight Batman. I promise I'll get him up to 5 stars, and I think it would make for some interesting highlight reels. Just give me an Arkham Knight Batman 1-star in my mail, and I think it would be pretty hilarious. So if you like this video talking about the tier list, honorable mentions, and cards that I think suck, please give this video a like rating, comment, subscribe, share this video amongst your friends, and as a favorite, check out my other Injustice 2 videos playlist, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, which are all HollywoodShono. And like I said, there are a couple cards that could easily be in the top 10. Silver Batman, Soul Stealer, Dr. Fate, Silver Wonder Woman, Last Laugh, the Joker, Captain Cold, Silver Harley Quinn, the Robins, and Green Arrow with the right synergy. Leave your comments down below. Let me know if you think my tier list sucks, or if you have a favorite card like Suicide Squad Harley Quinn that I think I'm undervaluing. Let me know why, or even leave a YouTube video showing your gameplay, and maybe that'll change my mind. Have a wonderful day, kids.
www.youtube.com/HollywoodShono. Subscribe, bitches!